Okay, we're here. Okay, so I decided I wanted to do some painting today. I've been doing a lot of work lately on trying to organize the studio because it was used more as an office and warehouse for my inventory, and I'm trying to rearrange it so that it functions as a studio a little better while still housing my inventory. So space is always at a premium. So I decided that I wanted to do something. I've been really fascinated with the acrylic pours lately. I got off of them for a while and now I'm back on them. So anyway, so I have this round piece of MDF I got off of Amazon. Let's see, looks like it might be maybe 10 inches. So I decided I wanted to try a different kind of pour. And as I mentioned in my oyster shell video, I tend to get on something and stick with it for a while. So if you get bored with the videos that I've got up, just, let me know and I'll try to move on to something else. But if you stick with me, I have got loads of crafts that I want to get to. So anyway, I have the MDF. It's gosh, this must be 1/8 of an inch. It's really inexpensive. I was looking for something that I could practice on and not worry too much about, the cost. I spend way too much money on art supplies and craft supplies, and so when I can, I try to save money. And since this is stuff that I just want to practice on, I can paint and repaint over it and not worry because it just didn't cost much. It would not be something that I would try to put in my shop because I would want something that's a little more sturdy than 1/8 of an inch MDF. So I'm going to put a little more paint on here. I want to get it a nice base coat of the white that is ready to go for this type of pour. And then we'll see how it goes. All right. So I should probably, I'm going to just try to get it out to the edges here, and then it needs to self-level a little bit. So now I've got a great big old cup of paint. I don't know if you saw, but I like to mix it up ahead of time, and I was about out of the white paint, so I mixed up a huge batch because I'm going to put the rest of it into a condiment bottle to hold on to for the next pourings. So I don't want to spin this too much because it's just going to go everywhere. So I really put it on the Lazy Susan so that I could get a view of it from different angles, not so much to use as a fast spinner. Kind of like frosting a cake, Anyway, I tried to make this paint a little bit thin so that it would run a little bit better and not be so lumpy. And honestly, I will be the first to admit, there's thousands of videos on acrylic pouring. You can just watch them all day long from different artists and crafters, and I am by no means an expert or even call myself an artist in this regard. But it's fun. It's something you can do easily. You don't have to have a lot of talent in drawing or anything like that. You can basically just choose what colors you want to work with and put something together, and it almost always comes out fascinating, and it's definitely always unique. And many times you get something beautiful that you just had no idea that you could do. So, so what I'm going to do, I've got my paint. I'm going to give it a quick torch to try to get rid of some bubbles. Come on, stick with me. I may need some more butane here. If that's not going to work, I'm going to have to get out the heat gun. Okay, so heat gun it is. Need to make a note to get some more butane on this. So hold on just a minute. I'll get the heat gun, and it'll just be a blink of an eye for you. Okay, here we go. Now bear with me here. I'm going to just give it a quick go over with this. Help pop some of the bubbles. More heat than below here. Okay. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some colors. Yes, okay. Now I keep my colors mixed up in the condiment bottle. Right now the colors I have are all of these Milo or Sargent Art acrylic paints that come in bottles like this. I get them on Amazon in a big case pack. So they're just basic colors. Okay, absolutely just basic colors. You see I didn't shake that one up too well, so remember to do that. Okay, it's one thing when you mix your own paints ahead of time, you need to be sure and shake them up good, or you will end up with a lot of little runny bits coming out. And I'm just, and I've kind of lost my center, but that's all right. Just go a little bigger on this side. Okay. And I'm going to add some pink in. Big old bubble right there. I'm going to add a little bit of black. Which comes out gray to start with. I think it's because it's not mixed real well. I need to mix up more of this blue. I hardly have any. I got the bottle out to remind myself to mix some up when I'm done here. It was one of the favorite colors when my kids were up here using paint last time. And I need to mix up some silver. I don't have any silver mixed up. Okay. I'd like a little bit more going on here, so I think I'm going to go back with some more pink. And I think I'm going to do something with some green and some gold out here on the edges. And then we will see what we end up getting. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take a paper towel. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to spray it down with water. I keep water in one of these bottles. I also keep some alcohol for when I'm working with the resin or something in a spray bottle too. I want to spray down my paper towel. I think I'm going to double it up because these paper towels are pretty cheap. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I was trying to make some room over here to spray my paper towel down. So I think I'm going to double up the paper towel. I don't know if you can hear what I'm saying, because they're pretty cheap and I don't want it breaking in the middle of what I'm doing. I really miss the days when paper towels came in like a whole sheet instead of these half sheets, or at least when you had a choice. I can't find any brand that doesn't just do the little half sheets now, which means I usually don't get enough to make a whole sheet by getting 2 half sheets, or at least not as big as I would like, and then I end up having to pull off 3 of the little half sheets, which in my opinion just makes me use more paper towel than the whole sheets did. But you know, that's just my personal opinion. Okay, so I've got my nice wet paper towel, and what I'm going to do, I don't know if you can see what's going on over here. I am going to, and there's a big bubble there, but it's going to pop when we do this. I'm going to lay the paper towel down and cover my painting and try to lay it straight down without a lot of movement. And then I'm going to press it down. I think I did this in maybe another video I did. I don't know if it's up yet. I was working on a little like drawer front piece of wood. Okay. And this may not be wet enough, so I'm going to spray a little more water on it just to make sure. Now, don't ask me the name of what this type of pour is called. I see something I like, I try it. I probably should spend a little more time and learn the names of these things since I'm going to be doing videos. But there you have it. So I've got it down. It's nice and wet. It's in the paint. You can see where I've pushed it down into the paint. Okay. I'm going to lift the paper towel up. Just grab the corners. Then I'm going to grab, whoops. I've got plastic wrap on the Lazy Susan. I almost grabbed some of that. Grab the corners. And grab the corners. Grab these corners. And lift. Okay. And there you have it. Okay. So, now I have this wonderful thing here, and I'm going to lay this, you can't see it on camera because I don't have enough space, but I'm going to lay this painted paper towel down, because it had so much pretty paint on it, on another tray over here where I have freezer paper, in hopes of making a pretty acrylic skin while we're done. Okay. Alright. Okay. Let's see, so I'm going to let that sit for a couple of minutes. You can start seeing, actually there's a little lacing going on already, and I haven't really done anything to it. Watching the paint react with itself. I did not add any anything for cells. I didn't add any kind of oil or jelly or anything. This is really my pouring medium at this point, because I'm trying to go through an old bottle of Glue All by Elmer's. So PVA glue. Now you can see how pretty this is turning out. I'd like to see some, I've got a lot of negative white space there. I'd like to do a little bit more with that. And so that's where I go in and I use my little tools, sculpting tools. So let me get, the one I have over here is way too small. So let me get my couple of sculpting tools. Okay, so I got my little bucket here with sculpting tools in it and everything that we use. My son has really gotten into wanting to sculpt with clay a lot lately. He's been watching, I don't know if you watch this channel, but he's really good, Ace of Clay. And he also watches the Graveyard Loon, who does a lot of makeovers of toys. And so that's the most recent project, was he wanted to take a My Little Pony and make it into a dragon. And he's been working on it, and it's actually looking pretty good. So let's see, what have we got here? Now, I like to take where lines have already started and just try to bring them around, like follow through where they're already going, or take the edges and bring them out, and it creates these little rivers for the paint to move into and drag some of the paint out into it. And then you can bring it back and turn jagged edges into these wonderful little almost like petals. But I really love how the colors, I mean, there is nothing to create these cells in this paint. This is just PVA glue, water, and paint. And I'm getting all kinds of cells happening here. And then that was just water on that paper towel. So nothing in here to force cells. I mean, these cells are just happening naturally. So, you're going to get to start seeing my kids in videos now. They want to be a part of the channel. And we couldn't do that before because they were foster children. We were in the process of the adoption, but while they were technically foster children, they can't be, we're not allowed to have them on social media. So those of you who know me and haven't seen pictures of my kids, that's why. But we just finalized the adoption this week. So we are now the official legal family. And that means that if they want to be on social media and I want to allow them on social media, I can do so. Of course, we will take all precautions. If my son says that I am an extremely overprotective helicopter mom, probably because I didn't get to have children until I got these guys so late in life. So I am very well aware of dangers and the tragedies that can happen. So I am constantly watching out for them. When they're on, you will see a lot probably of crafts from my son that are gaming inspired. He is very much into the games, video games, Fortnite. I don't even know what all games he plays. We monitor it, but I really don't pay attention to the characters and stuff. We just monitor to make sure he's safe when gaming and that he doesn't spend too much time on it, which he says we don't let him spend enough time. And my question is there ever enough time, according to a gamer, to be on your game? Love to see some of this blue coming out. I really want to try to get more something out into these spaces, these big white empty spaces. That wasn't very smooth, was it? Okay, and then let's pull it back this way. And my daughter, she is very inspired by mermaids and unicorns and all things that my son calls sparkle butt, which I think he got from watching The Graveyard Loon. By the way, if you haven't seen The Graveyard Loon, you really should check out his channel. He is all kinds of fun. Ace of Clay is an extremely talented artist. If you want to see some really well done clay sculptures of all kinds of things, he is the guy to watch. As you can see, we spend a lot of time, at least we have, during this whole pandemic, exploring YouTube in the arts and crafts world. But not just that. I mean, we love to watch some of these others where people go out and they're doing metal detecting. There's the ones where people who buy storage units and all the interesting things that they find. The kids love to watch those things. I'm going to get some more baby wipes over here. I've got them just in reach, of course. I can't have everything within reach. I have had to learn that. I've got a utility cart that I'm working on stocking up that hopefully I'm going to be able to just wheel over here to the table. Right now it's buried behind a bunch of boxes of a bunch of art supplies that I brought up from our house. I'm trying to move all of the art supplies to this one location so that we can find them and put our hands on them easily. And it doesn't help that I just keep buying more before I even get everything put away. So I am really loving this technique with the paper towel. I need to get a little better at my placement of my paint before I do so. But that's what practice is all about, guys. And if you don't want to join me on my journey of the practice, that is fine. But please keep an eye on the channel, because we're not going to do just acrylic paint. I've got, as you've seen, I do resin. I'm always exploring new things. I love anything to do with beads and ornaments. So you'll probably see a lot of different things. And my favorite thing is to find ways to turn literal trash, not just things that you're tired of and are gonna send off to Goodwill or something, but actual trash that you would be throwing in the garbage. I love finding ways to turn that into something, to upcycle those into something that you will keep. We don't have a real good way to recycle a lot of stuff here, as far as taking it to be recycled. And honestly, from the place that we do have, I am not 100% positive that what goes into those particular recycling bins doesn't actually just get picked up by the dump truck. I'm just not confident. So, I mean, we do recycle, but I find it a lot more satisfying when you upcycle. Turning things in, turning trash into something that you'll keep. When we go to craft fairs and such, those are always my favorite booths to shop, are the ones where people have made things out of garbage and turned it into something beautiful or fascinating or interesting or cute, and something that you're going to want to show off. So overworking might be part of my problem here. I may be overworking this piece, but I just would like to get a little less white space going here. A lot of heavy paint in the center of this. Sorry if that's making anybody dizzy. Just trying to get it. Some of them ain't moving into these little crevices that I've created here. Yeah, that one area looks pretty overworked. Right in here. Not real happy with that, but I actually like this area. Even though there's a lot of white here, it feels like trying to get a little more green into that little area, into that one little river. But it feels like it's drawn enough paint out into it that it's not just boring there. This one could probably use a little something, something. Bring that back. See if I bring this one back in there. Now this one is going to turn out nice, I think. Okay, let's see. Did we determine that my torch is completely dead? Let's see if I put a little butane to it. Oh yeah, it's not dead. It was just having trouble getting enough butane in there, wasn't it? Okay. Keep it moving. Remember, there's a piece of wood under here. Try to get rid of the bubbles. And remember, when a bubble pops, it's going to leave like little mini cells anyway. So it adds more interest when the bubbles pop. You just want to make sure you pop them. There's some bubbles right there. Yeah, okay. Let's see. And sometimes if I go down and I look at it from the side, I can see if there's an area that has a lot more bubbles. Now, what I'll do with this is I will leave it on the tray. Definitely want to make sure that I got plenty of white paint on the edges. This one, the design did not go over the edges, which is fine. It's a very thin board anyway, so wouldn't have had a whole lot of effect. But I do want to make sure there's white paint, some paint on the edges, so I don't have to go back and try to paint this later when I go to seal it. If I seal it, if I don't decide to just paint over it and start over. My daughter right now, any painting that I don't care for, she wants it. She is filling her room up with things on the wall, and if it's got color on it, she wants it. Now my son, he wants anything that I do that's predominantly in fire or sunset colors, or predominantly black, anything that's not girly, he wants. So we're either going to run out of wall space in their rooms, or I told him, I said that, at some point I'm going to want to put some of these things up for sale just to move them, even if I'm selling them, really cheap, just to move them on to somewhere that can appreciate them more than I can, because I've got so many pieces, and they say, that's fine, Mom, but we want these. Sell another one, keep this one for me. Okay, a little more white along this. That's why these Lazy Susans come in handy. If you're going to be doing a lot of resin work, or a lot of painting, or even sculpting, it gives you a chance to be able to view the piece and work on it from a different angle without having to lift it up and move it, because a lot of times lifting it up and moving it does more harm than good to your piece. So they're really inexpensive. I picked mine up on Amazon, and if you watch the big sale times, like oh, and I have a Prime account, so I never have to pay shipping for as long as I'm ordering something that's being sold Prime. I click that little radio button whenever I'm doing a search for something, because I'd rather it be shipped direct from Amazon. When it's shipped direct from Amazon, it comes on an Amazon truck. I don't have to worry about FedEx not being able to find my house, which FedEx never can find my house for some reason. UPS finds it, Amazon finds it, Post Office finds it, the food delivery guys find it, but for some reason FedEx cannot find my house. Things get on the truck out for delivery and they're never heard from again. So anything that I think, I have to really keep up with what I'm ordering if it's not shipped direct from Amazon. and make sure that I don't forget about it, because if the seller ships it FedEx, it will never arrive. Just won't arrive. We have had the last 6 shipments that have come from a seller that insisted on shipping FedEx. The last 6 shipments, without fail, have not arrived. And we have had to call and get them reshipped, and then explain to them why when they send the reshipment they need to not send it FedEx, because FedEx just will not deliver, will not find our house for some reason. And it's not like they ever mark it delivered like to the wrong place. They just disappears. It doesn't get returned to the seller. I don't know what's going on. FedEx used to be spot on. They were my service of choice for anything that weighed enough that I didn't want to ship it post office. But for some reason, they just can't get the job done now. Okay. And as you can see, FedEx is not a sponsor of this video. All right, there we go. Not sure if I like it. Not sure if I hate it, but it's interesting. So, everybody, if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and comment. Oh, I needed to make an announcement I did not make. I am running a drawing for the first, got some more bubbles here, to get my subscribers up to 25. So I'm going to run a drawing at basically every milestone. So when we hit 25 subscribers, I'm going to draw a name out of the people that have commented on a video. Now, the reason for that is that when you subscribe, unless you have your subscriptions marked public, I can't see that you subscribed. So I would like to just draw from the subscribers, but I can't tell that you subscribed. So I think a fair way to do it is out of the comments. And the rules will be that when I announce the winners, I'm gonna hold on to, whenever I announce a winner, I will hold on to the prize for a good 15 days to give you time to have seen the video and know that you won, and to reach out to me with how to get it to you. I'll probably offer it out of some things that I've either done on videos or things that I have made that are not on video, and I'll probably offer each winner like some choices, so that, you know, if one of the paintings I put up is something that you really didn't care for, then you could pick something else. So, all right, so everybody, happy crafting, happy arting, and everybody go out and have fun.